Welcome to 12 Leg Journey.
We're a couple of dinks in our mid-30s with 2 Yorkies and a severe case of the travel bug.
Follow along with us as we explore 48 states in 48 weeks. We'll be posting daily shorts and weekly long videos highlighting our travel within each state on Fridays.
Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, you're okay.
You can read it if you want to. Well, hello everyone. We're on our 11th state of Oklahoma. And this state is really special because got to visit my Nana and go visit my Uncle Mark and Uncle Keeler, all kinds of family we get to visit. Y'all ready for this? The 11th state. All right. Woohoo.
Feeling really nice.
It is. Come on, boys. The Blue Whale of Catoosa has become a beloved historical landmark along Route 66. The Blue Whale was originally built by Hugh S. Davis, a zoologist and family man who envisioned the whale as a special place where his grandchildren could play and swim in the nearby pond.
Who knew you could find a blue whale in Oklahoma?
Right? Just right in the middle of a pond. His sketches of the mammal grew until they reached 20 feet tall and 80 feet long.
Uh-oh, it's eating Amber and Charlie alive. Oh no!
Rescue us! With the help of a friend, the duo spent 2 years welding the metal framework and applying the hand-mixed cement, 1 5-gallon bucket at a time.
Going into the belly of the whale. Is that a Jonah story?
Yeah, but the belly's a little open, so I think we could jump out if we had to.
I'm not a big fan of swimming in ponds that you can't see in the water.
After the whale's completion in July 1972, it attracted visitors from all over and became a place where people swam, fished, and picnicked. Oh, Charlie, look, he got himself wrapped around a pole.
Oh, yeah, Charlie found a pole, like always.
This is what he normally does. Come here, Charlie. Okay, there you go. Now you're free. Today, it is still owned and operated by Davis's daughter. What do you kids think of the blue whale, huh?
About to get regurgitated. Apparently it didn't like us.
Oh, look, apparently you can climb up there, but just screw down, of course. Get to the top.
It's a pretty cute little stop.
Yeah, it's a cute little park. Oh, they charge for this?
That's my guess.
Oh, wow. Just abandoned, huh?
Yeah. Looks like those mushrooms have seen better days.
Yeah, the glass didn't hold up so well.
I'm going to go out on a limb and guess teenagers had something to do with it. I have no clue what this is supposed to be.
I don't either. Interesting. Looks like a tree. I don't know. No idea.
We have one that's lasted.
Yeah. It's the old Capitol building. We've seen a lot of those, and they're pretty cool along the trip.
Yeah. We tend to like the old buildings.
We do.
Need to learn you to read.
Oh, I don't read that. Considered one of the most prized documents in Cherokee Nation's possession, the Cherokee Nation land patent provided a simple title to 14,374,000 acres of land to the Cherokee people. Possession of the patent also secured Cherokee Nation's right to create and enforce its laws as a sovereign entity on the Cherokee Nation reservation. The land patent escaped the devastation of the Civil War. One Cherokee creation story recounts a time long ago when Cherokee people lived on an island south of what is now the United States. Their island became tormented by earthquakes that led to volcanic eruption. Approximately 14 groups departed in canoes to find a new home. The people set forth across a vast expanse of water, traveling for weeks. Not every canoe survived this dangerous journey. Only 7 canoe groups remained when they reached the shores of an unfamiliar land. These groups would become the 7 Cherokee clans: Wolf, Blue, Longhair, Paint, Bird, Deer, and Wild Potato. The 7 groups traveled north to the land of the Iroquois in the northeast of present-day United States. There, Cherokee lived among the Iroquois for a brief time until they began their journey, heading south and east where they settled, living in towns and communities and becoming Cherokee Nation.
Oh, you gotta test your skill at basket weaving.
Okay, let's test my skill. I gotta undo it, I think. Then I can test it. Okay, oops. Let me just go through like this. What they were doing. I could do this little section. If this is how they indeed did it, I'm just kind of doing it this way. Now this inside looks a lot more intricate.
Yeah.
The Civil War was more devastating to the Cherokee Nation than to the rest of the United States in terms of loss of life, property, and number of widows and orphans. Homes, government buildings, farms, and businesses were destroyed during the war. Many widows had to adjust to their new life, and many children lost at least one parent and extended kin. Cherokee Nation set up an orphanage to provide a home and education for them. Between 1830 and 1850, the Cherokee Nation was removed from their ancestral homeland and parts of North Carolina, Georgia, and Alabama to land set aside for them in Oklahoma. About 100,000 Native Americans were forcibly relocated by a 1,000-mile-long journey in what is known as the Trail of Tears. Tragically, many Cherokee died along the way, leaving behind orphans. Cherokee National Jail, or Cherokee National Penitentiary, was built in 1874 for the Cherokee Nation in Tahlequah, Oklahoma. It was the only penitentiary building in the entire Indian Territory from 1875 to 1901. The jail was used for the native population, as crimes committed on reservations by non-tribal members are out of the tribe's jurisdiction. It served the Cherokee Nation until it was sold to Cherokee County, Oklahoma, which used it as a jail into the 1970s.
That would have been your uniform in the day.
I like the stripes. Prior to the construction of the Cherokee National Prison, punishment was corporal in nature. Depending upon the nature of the crime committed, penalties could range from monetary fines to the person being whipped, lashed, or hung, should the crime be of a serious nature.
Horse theft was a whipping.
Ooh.
Murder, death by hanging.
Oh, okay.
Intercepting and opening the sealed mail, $100 fine and whipping. Rape. Cut off 1 ear and 50 lashes on the back. All right, let's see how strong Amber is.
Let's see.
Well, don't hurt your back.
Oh, man, that thing's heavy. See how well Kyle does. Ugh, you bragger. Oh, I see. You're gonna do sets with that. Oh. There's actually something back here.
Those crates don't look very comfy.
They really don't.
Too bad they won't let us up there.
Hangings at the prison were not public affairs and were usually attended by members of the media, family members, clergy, the high sheriff, and the guards.
Wouldn't it be a fun way to go?
Now, you'd hope that they snapped your neck as opposed to just actually hanging.
Right? Death by hanging's bad enough. Yeah, this is just the blacksmith shop, but it's employees only now.
All right, you ready?
Yes, ma'am. Definitely smells old in here.
Oh, it's a big ball. Good grief.
Well, hey, I have one of those, Ball and Jane.
You do not.
She follows me everywhere I go.
He loves it. Don't listen to him.
It is not known exactly how many men and women paid the ultimate penalty in the prison yard. In 1879, the Cherokee Advocate reported that the gallows were not worse for wear, as the authorities inclined to be very merciful.
I really like that one. That's one of my favorites we've seen along the way. Oh, look at that cute little keg.
Records kept by the high sheriff indicated the number to be 45, but there's no way to know for sure how many people lost their lives on the gallows.
All right, up to your cell.
No.
Off with you.
I get to leave when I'm done visiting, though.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an old safe for you.
It's nice and huge.
All right. Oh, we can't lock you in.
No, can't lock me in.
Doesn't look very comfy.
Not at all.
From the window, you can see the gallows. An old spittoon. Oh, you can get cuffed to the chair.
Yep. Better be a good boy.
Oh, you had to be in this room with a partner.
Oh.
Not very much space. Oh, those are not very comfy bunks. They're just metal. Almost makes you not want to go to jail, I guess.
Especially when you have a buddy. Does not look comfortable.
Another good view of the gallows.
Ooh.
Yeah, you don't even have standing room with your buddy in this one.
Oh no, they caught me.
Oh no.
Are you gonna spring me out?
No, I'm gonna throw away the key.
I thought that he loved me. I was wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
On April 19, 1995, at 9:02 a.m., a bomb exploded in a Ryder truck parked at the north entrance of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in downtown Oklahoma City, killing 168 people and injuring approximately 850. Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols were arrested and indicted in U.S. District Court of Columbia on August 10, 1995. They were found guilty on June 2, 1997. McVeigh was executed on June 11, 2001. Nichols was sentenced to life in prison. The field of empty chairs represents the 168 individuals killed during the bombing. They stand in 9 rows, each representing a floor of the federal building destroyed during the bombing. The 19 small chairs represent the children killed that day.
Yeah, this would be leftover foundation, I believe.
Yep. On the east end of the memorial stands the only remaining wall from the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building. These walls remind us of who survived the attack, although many had serious injuries. Today, more than 600 names are inscribed on salvaged pieces of granite from the federal building lobby. The reflecting pool occupies what was once Northwest 5th Street. These monumental twin gates frame the moment of destruction, 9:02 a.m., and mark the formal entrances to the memorial. The 9:01 a.m. gate represents the innocents before the attack. The 9:03 a.m. gate symbolizes the moment healing began.
So apparently there used to be a church that stood here, and all that survived the bombing was the statue of Jesus. We're here at Sequoyah State Park in Oklahoma. Pretty cute little campground. Spots all have a little bit of a concrete pad and a picnic table, and then a electric in the bathrooms.
Will Rogers was a radio personality, #1 at the movie box office. He was the nation's most sought-after public speaker. He was the most read newspaper columnist. He wrote books, traveled the world, and gave liberally to charities around the world. William Penn Adair Rogers was born in Oklahoma on Election Day, November 4th, 1879, in a log-walled 7-room house known as the White House on the Verdigris River in Indian Territory. Clement Van Rogers, Will's father, was a Cherokee senator and a judge who helped write the Oklahoma Constitution. Young Will Rogers had an itch to travel and experience the Old West. At age 19, he left school to work on a cattle drive in Texas. Later, his desire to see the world led him and a friend to travel to Argentina in search of work. Work was hard to find, and he ended up working at a horse ranch in South Africa in 1902. Will Rogers used his skill as a cowboy to perform in Wild West shows where he was known as the Cherokee Kid. Wild West shows paved the way for Will to the vaudeville. Will hit the vaudeville stages in the early 1900s. At first, it was a silent act with rope tricks. When he missed a trick, Will's occasional comments would cause audiences to laugh, and he was encouraged to begin speaking during his act. No media escaped Will Rogers' masterful performances. Will became a pioneer in early silent pictures, starring in 50. Sound was added to the celluloid in 1929 and introduced Will's voice to a new media for Fox Film Corporation, later known as 20th Century Fox. In just 5 years, Will starred in 21 acclaimed motion pictures, winning top box office honors in 1934 and becoming Hollywood's highest-paid actor. Will worked for top studios from Goldwyn to Fox and legendary directors from Hal Roach to John Ford. In a salute to his stature and reputation, the name Will Rogers always was listed above the title of the movie. Will made more than 70 films during his career, and at the time of his death, he was the top male motion picture box office star. Will signed with showman Florenz Ziegfeld in 1915. By 1918, Will Rogers was a certified Broadway star, earning $1,000 a week in the famous Ziegfeld Follies. Always a talker, Will Rogers was a natural for radio. His warm and entertaining voice needed only amplification, and radio provided just that. In a time when World War I and the Great Depression dominated the national scene, Will Rogers' down-home charm proved irresistible to radio audiences. When Will first appeared on the radio in Pittsburgh in 1922, the radio was in its infancy. He continued to appear on radio through the 1920s and made his first regularly scheduled broadcast in the spring of 1930. His weekly Sunday evening show was among the top 15 radio programs in the country. All I know is what I read in the papers became one of Will Rogers' trademark quips, and Will used the newspapers to reach millions of Americans. His witty and profound observations in his regular newspaper column made Will Rogers a leading journalist of the early 20th century. Will Rogers had two of the most popular newspaper columns throughout the 1920s and 30s. In August of 1935, Will and famed aviator Willie Post left to survey a mail and passenger air route between the U.S. and Russia by way of Alaska Territory. On August 15, 1935, Will and Willie took off from Fairbanks, bound for Barrow, the northernmost settlement in the U.S. After refueling at Harding Lake, Post landed at a lagoon 15 miles southwest of Barrow to get directions. Just after takeoff, the engine failed, causing the plane to crash, killing both men instantly. Ever the pioneer, Will Rogers was born in Indian Territory and died in Alaska Territory in 1935. Life is a one-time journey. It is better to stumble and trip through your own unbeaten path than to wake up one day old and gray, having never ventured from the sidewalk. Kyle Sickles.